Nick, the Rugby Championship enters its fourth week. 2 wins and a draw that started things off for New Zealand. What have you made of that?
Well, I've made a lot from it actually, because I've had a lot of people saying how New Zealand is such a dire predicament with a lot of teams losing the girls and the sevens and obviously the All Blacks in that first game, and then all of a sudden they've turned out to be not true, and it's just brilliant. The All Blacks are just on such a great team. It just shows how much of a leveler with the weather is in that first game, and everyone was a little bit worried, but I don't think that second game against Australia, when they put 50 on Australia, that any team in the world would have lived with them. They were fantastic, and I think they showed again the depth that they've got against that Argentinian team. They in tough conditions, they performed really well, and I thought Barrett was good, although he had a kicking day like me. He missed a few kicks as well, but he showed that he led the team around the field, and they were smart, and they took their time. And Brody Retallick, he's in the form of his life, and I guess the only worry for me is injuries. Messam's out this weekend against the Box. Whitelock, massive loss for them. He runs the line out, so it's been exciting, and obviously I think for an Australian point of view, they needed that win against South Africa. They obviously came off the battering, but they looked good against South Africa and got the win. Found themselves 8 points down with a few minutes to go and got themselves back in and got the win. So sets up a big clash this weekend. All Blacks, South Africa. It doesn't get much bigger than that, especially down in Wellington. So it'll be a great game.
In your position of fly half, you touched on it. Aaron Cruden was out, of course, with Beauden Barrett in against Argentina. Dan Carter now likely to miss the entire championship as he continues his rehab from that broken leg. So is the returning Cruden your man for the job?
I think so, yeah. I think he's shown enough over the last few test matches, especially with Dan not there now, that, dare I say it, he could be the number one in New Zealand at the moment. I think the form that he's shown, and obviously Dan's struggling with injuries at the moment, and Barrett coming up, he's got a bit to learn in that 10 jersey, but I think Cruden's done enough for me to show that he's probably number one in New Zealand, and deservedly so.
You mentioned that 50-odd points, bar the rusty first match against Australia and New Zealand, as you say, are looking good. After that 3-0 victory series over England in the summer, will they come to Twickenham in November with any fear of playing England there?
I think they'll be wary. I think these autumn internationals are always a tough one for New Zealand. It's exactly the same for England going down the June. You're tired, you've had a big season, you come up here, they know the World Cup's not too far away. Guys will be try not to get injured. They've got a nice summer before they head into a big World Cup campaign. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of mental frame that they come up in. But I know the All Black team, they work extremely hard, they're extremely focused. Scared? Definitely not. But wary maybe. I think the English turned a lot of heads in New Zealand for their performances, especially in that first test with a team that probably wasn't at full strength for England. So the New Zealand public know that the English have got a good squad, and they'll have to be wary of them coming up in these autumn internationals.